College baseball might not get the same love that college football does, but a lot of the ballparks are on par with the best that minor league baseball has to offer. And I've covered several minor leagues, so why not showcase some of the best that college baseball has to offer? To be clear, I'm not saying these are the top 10, I wanted a bit of variety. These are just 10 amazing college ballparks. Dudy Noble Field, Mississippi State Bulldogs. It's coming off a major redevelopment a few years ago that, well, it was pretty much entirely demolished to make way for a new stadium, with a proper double-decker grandstand. One of the few ballparks in college baseball to have one. Unsurprisingly, it's also one of college baseball's largest venues. One thing remained from the original stadium, albeit in name only, and that's the left field lounge. It was a ramshackle looking area in which fans could tailgate and whatnot. It's now state of the art and matches the brick and iron exterior. It still serves the same purpose. Husky Ballpark, Washington Huskies. It might have a very small capacity, but it does have a very grand view. Their football counterparts like to say that they play at the most picturesque setting in college football, and well, this is right next door, so I guess this could be the best setting in college baseball. It doesn't have the big tall stands of Husky Stadium though, so the view of Lake Washington is diminished. Anyway, other than the view, it's a simple but fantastic venue in its own right. It does have a fake field, but considering how close they are to the lake, it could be necessary, I don't know. Saul Thomas Stadium, Alabama Crimson Tide. Quick question, what do you get when an elephant chomps on a big grey truck for the hell of it? Tuscaloosa. Their baseball team has played here since way back in 1948, but it was given a major renovation in 2015, which simultaneously gave it a more classic ballpark look with its red brick facade, and also made it look a lot newer. It even gained a bit of a roof. My favourite feature would have to be the grass terrace in right field though. Sometimes it's the simple things that make the... Sometimes I like the simple things. That's why people call me a simpleton. Sunken Diamond, Stanford Cardinal. This one might seem a little out of place, but as I mentioned in the intro, I wanted to include a wide variety of ballparks, and it's quite an interesting one. As the name suggests, it's sunken. That's due to the fact that the site had dirt excavated from it to build the adjacent football stadium. Due to that, it barely makes an impression from street level, helped along by the fact that it's completely surrounded by trees. On the inside there are no luxury suites, no roof, nothing like that. Just a small press box, and yeah, it's very simple. Charles Schwab Field, Omaha, Creighton Blue Jays. Omaha might be home to Warren Buffett, the famous, I'm gonna say taxidermist? But Omaha's most important claim to fame, in my opinion, would be that it's home to college baseball's biggest stadium. Most people would still say Berkshire Hathaway. Anyway, the reason it's so big is not that the Blue Jays are the biggest team in college baseball, it's more down to the fact that it's the host of the College World Series. The design is far from traditional. It's very sleek, modern, and almost bowl-like on the inside. And of course, there are plenty of luxury suites up top, not just your standard Hershey's. Alec Box Stadium, LSU Tigers. There are very few names that have two X's in them, and even fewer where they make different sounds. The only other I can think of is the Xbox. Anyway, I love that exterior, and while looking at the view from street level, it taught me something. Nobody in Louisiana drives a sedan. There's a huge roof canopy here with exposed steel everywhere. It's probably one of the very few college baseball stadium roofs that covers all the seats. Well, I mean, it extends all the way to the field. Obviously these seats aren't covered. There's a pretty big scoreboard here as well. And it mightn't be a scenic backdrop in the conventional sense, but a view of Tiger Stadium looks pretty good to me. Springs Brooks Stadium, Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. I don't like to criticize people who are just doing their job, but the equipment manager at this school is clearly incompetent. As you can see, he washed the turf along with the jerseys, and the colours ran. Thankfully, this grass over here is the real deal. Don't get me wrong, teal is one of my favourite colours, just not on a baseball field. The stadium's looking pretty sharp, especially these grass berms along the foul lines. Although, from top down, they are slightly reminiscent of sideburns. It's a perfectly symmetrical stadium, come to think of it. English Field, Virginia Tech Hokies. Ah yeah, there's nothing more English than baseball. Every time you rock up to a ballpark you hear, "Jolly good curveball, Nigel." "Me name's Michael. Nigel's me brother, innit?" One of the best things about baseball stadiums compared with other sports is the wide variety of seating options available. English Field is a prime example. With just that small seating bowl behind home plate, a huge grass terrace, some picnic tables, and trees for the birds to sit in. I should also give a mention to that facade. Not quite a castle, but of a similar ilk. I guess that's the only thing English about this place. Liberty Baseball Stadium, Liberty Flames. Now, I know the school itself is well, Liberty isn't a great name for a place with so many strict rules. One of the most bizarre rules is that they don't actually allow Australian students. Well, they worded it a bit differently. Anyway, to the stadium itself now. It features a grand exterior, but the interior is quite cozy. It even has a patio with a fire pit. That's for the book burning, I assume. Bourne Walker Stadium, Arkansas Razorbacks. Yes, despite saying I wanted a wide variety of stadiums, it's yet another that belongs to an SEC team. But they just have a lot of good ones, and a lot of big ones. This too is one of the bigger on-campus venues. It might not look it, however. The seating doesn't look that big because rather than being concentrated behind home plate, it stretches all the way along the foul lines, as does the small upper deck of premium seats, as does the small roof that shelters them. There's not much beyond the outfield, but there is this huge scoreboard, which is the largest video board in college baseball. It's got a lot going for it, this place. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, have a good one.